warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the conference, and in order to avoid any disturbance during the conference later, I would like to ask you to stay muted. And please rename your Zoom display name accordingly to your role. For presenters, please add letter R followed by your room's number and your full name. For the session chair, add SC in the beginning followed by R with your room's number and your full name. Thank you. The Honorable the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Cenderawasih University, Professor Mesaklek SA MSc. The Honorable the President of Association of International Business and Professional Management, aibpm, Dr. Lim Gai-sin. The Honorable the Vice President of Association of International Business and Professional Management, aibpm, Ira Christiana. The Honorable our keynote speaker. The Honorable our co-host, Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Papua. The Honorable our co-host, Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Masimus, Indonesia. And the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Presenters, lecturers, distinguished guests, fellow participants, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Presenter, lecturers, distinguished guests, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Grets Walilo, the Master of Ceremony for today's conference. I'm very pleased and honored to be here. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this prestigious conference, the first UNCEN International Conference of Economics and Business, UICEB, which is held by Cenderawasih University and supported by Association of International Business and Professional Management, aibpm, and attended by around the world people, these including Indonesia, Malaysia, India, Nigeria, Pakistan, United States of America, and South Africa, etc. On this occasion, we will have insightful presentations from prominent speakers across the countries, whom I believe shall enrich our knowledge regarding the theme of this conference, challenges of inclusive economy and business innovation towards sustainable development. We also want to thank, first, Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Papua. Second, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Maximum, who have contributed to this event. Third, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Malik. Fourth, Mandiri Bank. Fifth, Papua Bank. Sixth, Freeport, Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, before the conference begins, I would like to invite all of us to listen to Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to let all of us to see the Cenderawasih University's profile video and the AIBPM profile video.
Selamat datang di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Cenderawasih.
Fakultas Ekonomi berdiri sejak tanggal 4 November 1993. Sampai di tahun 2014 berganti nama menjadi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis. Perubahan nama tersebut dikarenakan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis sampai saat ini telah memiliki 3 jurusan dengan 8 program studi, yaitu sebagai berikut. Yang pertama, program studi manajemen. Yang kedua, program studi ekonomi pembangunan. Yang ketiga, program studi akuntansi. Keempat, program studi Magister Manajemen. Yang kelima, program studi Magister Ilmu Ekonomi. Yang keenam, program studi Magister Akuntansi. Yang ketujuh, program studi Doktor Ilmu Ekonomi. Dan yang kedelapan, program studi Doktor Ilmu Manajemen. Lewat pendidikan pada Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis diharapkan para lulusan unggul dalam pengetahuan ekonomi, memiliki jiwa kewirausahaan, dan memiliki kemampuan untuk mengembangkan diri. Maka dari itu, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Cenderawasih selalu meningkatkan mutu dengan sarana dan prasarana yang memadai guna mendukung proses perkuliahan. Ditunjang dengan tenaga pengajar serta staf yang berkompeten di bidangnya, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis siap melahirkan lulusan terbaik yang berdaya saing tinggi. Sejak 4 November 1993 sampai saat ini, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis telah melahirkan kurang lebih berjumlah 10.540 orang lulusan terbaik dan tersebar di seluruh Indonesia. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis terdepan dalam mutu, teruji dalam kualitas.
Selamat datang para mahasiswa baru di kampus abu-abu Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Cenderawasih. Terima kasih untuk pilihan saudara-saudara masuk di kampus Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Cenderawasih. Fakultas ini terdiri dari 3 jurusan. Saudara akan menempuh ilmu di fakultas ini selama 4 tahun atau 8 semester. Yang kami berharap saudara akan ditempa di fakultas ini sehingga saudara keluar nanti, saudara akan memiliki kapasitas yang tinggi di bidang ilmu manajemen, ilmu ekonomi pembangunan, dan ilmu akuntansi. Sehingga saat saudara keluar, saudara tidak akan kalah bersaing dengan lulusan-lulusan lain di fakultas atau di universitas lain di Papua maupun di luar Papua. Sehingga kami berharap saudara akan menjadi manusia-manusia pembangun di tanah Papua ini. Terima kasih dan selamat bergabung di kampus abu-abu.
Selamat Selamat datang semua mahasiswa Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, calon mahasiswa baru yang sudah memilih Fakultas Ekonomi sebagai lembaga perguruan tinggi menjadi pilihan Anda. Pada kesempatan ini saya mau sampaikan bahwa saudara tidak salah memilih Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, karena di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis kami memiliki 3 jurusan yang saat ini sangat dibutuhkan di tanah Papua, yaitu ilmu ekonomi, manajemen, dan juga akuntansi. Kami sampaikan bahwa setelah saudara masuk di sini, itu bukan hanya pengetahuan yang akan memberikan atau IQ saudara saja yang kami akan berikan, tidak, tapi kami juga di sini melatih kecerdasan emosional Anda dan juga spiritual Anda akan dibangun di fakultas ini. Kami sampaikan bahwa kami sampai saat ini sudah mempunyai lulusan sebanyak 9.000 lebih lulusan yang mereka sudah tersebar di seluruh tanah air di Papua, bahkan banyak yang sudah menjadi pejabat sampai saat ini. Jadi selamat datang calon mahasiswa baru, selamat datang di Fakultas Ekonomi Kampus Abu-Abu, dan kiranya Tuhan memberkati kita semua.
Selamat datang para mahasiswa baru Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Cenderawasih. Kami berharap setelah mahasiswa Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis menyelesaikan proses perkuliahan, dapat berkompetensi dan bersaing di dunia pekerjaan. Terima kasih dan selamat datang di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Cenderawasih.
Supriyani, and I would like to recommend you to join this conference.
Hi, my name is Roland Perdana. I think this is very good opportunity to join this conference.
Hello, my name is Ferry Prastia. I am very happy to join this international seminar with aibpm, and this is a good impression for me to enrich my knowledge.
Hello, my name is Bogejon Sodikov. I'm from Tajikistan. We are so happy that we join such kind of conference.
Cenderawasih University, Profesor FEMSI.
Shalom, good morning, best wishes to all of us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The Honorable Rector of Cenderawasih University, Jayapura, the Honorable Dean of Economic and Business Faculty of Brawijaya University, the Honorable Dean of Economy and Business Faculty of Musamus, the Honorable of Dean of Economic and Business Faculty of Papua University, the speakers from within and outside the country, as well as respected academicians, and guests. Praise be to God Almighty for all His blessing, so that today we can attend the first UNCEN International Conference of Economic and Business with the theme Challenge of Inclusive Economic and Business Innovation Toward Sustainable Development 2023. On behalf of the Economy and Business Faculty of Cenderawasih University, we welcome all the participants and convey our warm greeting from Jayapura, Papua. We are very excited to hold this international conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the first international conference which was held today was in the context of the treaty, the anniversary weeks of the Faculty of Economy and Business to realize the vision of the Faculty of Economy and Business Cenderawasih University, Jayapura, to become a smart, competitive, and reputable faculty in economy fields, sustainable business and entrepreneurship in 2025. I welcome and give appreciation to the host, co-host, all the participants, the presenter, the keynote speaker, and sponsor for their support in organizing this conference as a place for sharing knowledge, changing experience, view, and best practice with academic and experts from University of friendly countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that the Indonesian economy is currently facing big challenges. The challenge is related to effort to change the pattern of economic growth, which is heavily dependent on abundant natural resources and cheap labor wages, to a pattern of economic growth. This is more inclusive and environmentally friendly and sustainable. Inclusive growth is defined as growth that not only produces economic opportunity but also guarantees fair access for all members of society to the economic opportunity created. Inclusive growth enables all members of society to participate and benefit from economic growth and development on the equal basis, regardless of different social economic background. On the other hand, there is generation that was born or grew up in the area of digital technology. They are generation of digital native who are very skilled at using digital technology in their daily lives. No matter how much effort is put in by generation like me, who are digital immigration, it will certainly not be able to make two skill of playing with technology like those of digital native. This all to change in the world of higher education that we must face together wisely. Higher education institutional must be able to maintain their relevance and extend and produce and support human resource globally competitive and with noble morals. Ladies and gentlemen, to answer the challenge of change, higher education institutional must continue to transform and strengthen collaboration, including with the business and industrial worlds, government, non-government organization, professional organization, society, and the media. Transformation and collaboration are also needed to make higher education world-class. Apart from that, higher education as a matter of innovation can initiate collaboration in the form of joint research. This is important so that financing become more efficient and the development of science and technology is aligned with the need of industry and society. Likewise, reviewing research methodology to make it more adaptive of advance in information technology. For example, many research institutions have utilized artificial intelligence and big data in mass survey. The analysis result and policy recommendation are close to real time, making the difficult to mix with manual survey methods. Ladies and gentlemen, this international conference brings together scholars, research students, and participants who will present their ideas and papers in the field of management and accounting. We believe that this international conference is excellent opportunity to the idea for building network between participants. We hope that this conference will bring insight and depth understanding into our future collaboration and universities in the east of Indonesia region. The speaker will present topic relation to research quality, competitiveness, international cooperation and collaboration, and global entrepreneurship. Finally, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the committee for its extraordinary effort and commitment to the successful implementation of this international conference. Congratulations on the conference for the next 2 days. God bless us. Shalom. Jayapura, October 27, 2023.
Thank you for the great speech, Professor Mesaklek SA MSc. Then, we will have opening remarks from Dr. Quincy Francisca Kambuaya, SA MSc, the chairman of 2023 UICEB. For Dr. Quincy Kambuaya, the time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Walilo. Shalom, good morning, best wishes to all of us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. The Honorable Rector of Cenderawasih University, the Honorable Dean of Economy and Business, Fakultas of Cenderawasih University, Papua, the speaker from within and outside the country, as well as a respected academician and guests. On behalf of the organizing committee of the first UNCEN International Conference in 2023, I'm honored to welcome all researchers, academic, and participants from 41 universities in 9 countries, from India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Nepal, Bahrain, Hong Kong, Iran, and United States of America and Indonesia, to the UNCEN International Conference of Economic and Business through hybrid setting, online and offline, on 27 until 28 October 2023. This conference is expected to give an interactive forum for sharing and exchanging knowledge on the latest and potential research, collaboration in economic and business, innovation toward sustainable development 2023. The first international conference, which was held today, was in the context of the 30th anniversary week of the Faculty of Economy and Business to realize the vision of the Faculty Economy and Business Universitas Cenderawasih, Papua, to become a smart, competitive, and reputable faculty in the economic field, sustainable business and entrepreneurship in 2025. I welcome and give appreciation to the host, co-host, all the participants, the presenter, the keynote speaker, and sponsor, PT Freeport Indonesia, Bank Papua, Bank Mandiri, PT Jasa Raharja, for their support organizing in the conference as the place for sharing knowledge, exchanging experience, views, and best practice with academic and experts from university of friendly country. This conference will attend by six keynote speakers from 4 countries, from United States of America, Pakistan, India, and Indonesia. The speaker, presenter, and participants are coming from different affiliations as researchers, lecturers, practitioners, and graduate students. I hope we and all participants can make UNCEN International Conference 2023 as one of the best conference, so that our internal partnership will be strengthened for the next time. Thank you very much and welcome to the conference 2023. Jayapura, 27 Oktober 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the great speech for Dr. Quincy Kambuaya.
You're welcome.
We are really lucky to have such great and remarkable person to support this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very pleased to announce that the 2023 UNCEN International Conference of Economic and Business is officially open. Welcome to the 2023 UICEB. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's take photos together with all participants. Please turn your camera on and we will take your photos.
Okay, everyone, please turn on your camera so we can take photos together. And okay, from gallery 1, please turn on your camera. Okay, we will start from the gallery 1 and please get ready. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, next, I will take photos from the gallery 2. Please turn on your camera and 3, 2, 1. Okay, next, the third gallery. Please get ready. Please turn on your camera, please. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then the next gallery. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then next gallery. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next. 3, 2, 1. And next, 3, 2, 1. And the last gallery, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. You can continue the session.
Thank you for everyone who already participating. Ladies and gentlemen, we also would like to invite you to share the pictures taken just now to your Instagram account and give hashtag 2023 UICEB and hashtag info for academia. And the best Instagram post will get free entry to our next conference. We also invite you to follow our Instagram at info for academia. 4 as number, not letter. And our YouTube channel, aibpm Talk Series, which can update you with our event, publication opportunities, and the video of our conferences. At long last, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for me to introduce the keynote speaker for today's conference. Our keynote speakers are, first, Dr. Prasoon, Malik, Dr. Munazza, Zahra, University of Baltistan, Pakistan. And third, Dr. Sergey, Ivanov, University of the District of Columbia, United States of America. In order to start the conference, please welcome our moderator for today, Dr. Firdous Ahmad Malik.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
So am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah,
And now we are going to read about your profile. So we are going to read Dr. Firdous Ahmad Malik's profile.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am Dr. Firdous Ahmad Malik. I will be the moderator for this conference. The first thing I want to mention some important rules to be maintained during the conference. All the participants are requested to be muted. There will be Q&A session after the keynote speakers finish their presentations. It will be decided by the moderator who will ask the question. Before I start, I would like to inform you that each keynote speaker is having 20 minutes to present their slides, and there will be 10 minutes for the question and answer session, which will be done after the presentation session. As we already know, today we are having 3 keynote speakers. Let me introduce our first eminent speaker. Our first speaker is Dr. Prasoon Tripathi from IMS Ghaziabad, India. Dr. Prasoon Tripathi, the director of IMS Ghaziabad, an illustration alumni of Waterton Business School. Dr. Tripathi is not just an academician, but a researcher par excellence. At IMS Ghaziabad, Dr. Tripathi's leadership has been nothing short of transformative. He has been the driving force behind molding the professionals who are not only being ready to face the challenges today, but they are also ready for unpredictable tomorrows. Dr. Tripathi boasts a rich tapestry of industry experience, having helmed pivotal roles such as the group head of human resources. Dr. Prasoon Tripathi epitomizes the confluence of academic brilliance and industry prowess. His journey in the management education is not just about milestones achieved, but about the myriad lives he has impacted along the way. It is time for you, Dr. Prasoon Tripathi. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dr. Firdous. For the first keynote speaker is Dr. Sergey. So Dr. Sergey is already joined the conference, so you can start from
Okay.
the Dr. Sergey. Thank you.
Okay, sorry for this, disturbance. So let me introduce our, third keynote speaker of today's conference. It is Dr. Sergey. He is Professor of Management of Business School of Management and Public Administration. Belongs to University of District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., USA. His professional practice and scholarly interests are in the field of scientific, organizational research, government, multinational and military organizations. He received PhD from George Washington University School of Business, working under the leadership of Dr. Elodie Jacques on dynamic theories in organizational science. Professor Innova has taught management on organizational courses at the University of District of Columbia, as well as the George Washington University for over a decade, and provided consultant services and a wide variety of organizations, including the USA Defense, Department of Defense, Fortune 1000 corporations, and other clients. Dr. Sergey, it is time for you. Please go ahead, share your presentation. You are muted, Doc. Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And salam alaikum, Indonesia, and wherever you guys are. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, my unmute button wasn't working, so you guys, I guess, unmuted me. So really honored to be invited, and thank you very much for the invitation. Really excited, and maybe one day I will be in Indonesia actually giving one of those talks, and honored and thank you and appreciate. So let's do the talk. Let me share my screen. And can you see the screen?
Yes, it is quite visible.
All right, I appreciate. So I'm Dr. Sergey Ivanov. I'm a professor in Washington, D.C., United States, in the university which is in the nation's capital and the only university here in Washington, D.C. And the talk is Leaders, Followers, and Unicorns towards solving some of the today's worst problems. And I don't know, we're sort of on different parts of the globe. There's about 11 or 12 hour difference, and I'm sure it's as peaceful in your part of the world as it is here. So where is the world today? Anybody knows? So the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists in the United States has had a sort of a measure or gauge of where the world today as a planet since about 1950, since development of the nuclear weapons. And if you look at the clock, so midnight on this clock means the final catastrophe, meaning that the organized human life on this planet is no longer as we currently know it. And so if you look at it, we've been only very close to midnight. It was 2 minutes on midnight during the nuclear crisis between the United States and former Soviet Union in 1953. And then we sort of fallen back. It was 7 minutes to midnight, 9 minutes to midnight. And since 2017, we've been about 2.5 minutes to midnight. Last year, before the Ukraine war, it was 90 minutes to midnight, 100 seconds, 90 minutes to midnight, and so on. And what it means is that we are very close to a global catastrophe where we will no longer be functioning as we are functioning today. At least if you look at Chomsky's words, he calls it, Noam Chomsky, one of the US most prolific intellectuals, he calls it the end of the organized human life on Earth. And so at the same time, there are lots of conferences happening everywhere. Lots of books are being written, and we're all talking, we're all discussing, and we're trying to improve it. One of the latest books just came to my email, I think a few days ago, 2023, Essentials of Followership. And everybody writes books about leaders and followers and followership and what they are. And so, but the reality is that if you look at the world today, and it's gotten worse in the past, I don't know if you've noticed, 2 years and in the past week as the conference was just beginning, you see global wars in 2023, and probably it's going to go into 2024. When I was preparing the presentation, there was one wide war happening in Ukraine. Obviously, there was in Syria war was going on all the time. And a week ago, there is a war between in Israel and in Palestine. So, and the doomsday clock, if you look at it, is probably off. It's probably about 60 seconds to midnight, considering what's happening in between China and Taiwan, China and Philippines. And so the reality versus language today, and it's sort of one of the examples, that the language of leadership which we use worldwide does not correspond to the reality in which we live. And fundamentally, when we talk about leadership in most systems in government, universities, corporate entities, we're all leaders and so on, the language of leadership today is nonsense. It doesn't contribute to the well-being of your society or our society. And so one of the best ways to test is to find out whether it's true or not, is to test it, and to test it against real situations. For example, another concept that people are publishing, leaders need to be better followers. There are about 80 to 90,000 books on leaders and followers, and of all kinds of variations, and you can travel anywhere in the world on any of the leadership conferences. And so there's a followers and leadership theory in language. Let's test it. So the basic concept is that followers, there is no such thing as followers. They simply don't exist. For the past 50 years, we've spent developing that language in reality. So another book came out saying that to be a great follower, you need to be a great leader, you need to be a great follower. Let's test it. And some of you are deans, and I really like the welcoming message from the dean at this conference. Is anyone dean or university president present at this conference? follow them. So how to test followership? Follow your dean. Don't let them out of your sight. Just follow them for the next day. Anybody has ever worked for a company? Try to follow, if you have a boss, try to follow your manager in a building, to the car, to the place where he or she lives, email, and let me know how that has worked out. Do you work for a company? You can follow the CEO, the head of the company. Explain to them that you're testing a leadership theory and you are their follower. In academia, are there any students here at the conference? I think you probably can't unmute yourself. Follow your professor. If any of you is a professor, in the building, to the car, places where they live, social media, anywhere. Email me and let me know what happens. In government, there is no such thing as government leaders. Come into any ministry and explain that you're a minister's follower and ask to follow in the building, trips, places where they go, social media, and anywhere. And it's not going to work very well. If you go to church, mosque, synagogue, temple, follow the religious leader 24/7. It's simply physically not going to happen. In sports, if you play sports, those of you who are young, follow your coach 24/7. Not going to happen. Are you a manager? And if you're a manager, do you want to be followed? Do you want your subordinates to follow your every step on Facebook, any other social media, anywhere in person? And the clear answer is going to be that no, you don't. Are you a dean, professor, president? Do you want to be followed? Do you want for your students and for other professors to follow you every step? Any of your parents, children? If any of you is a parent or a child, do your kids follow you? Do you follow your parents? This language doesn't even come to explaining the real phenomenon that happens in families. In the medical field, do you follow your medical doctor? No, you're simply a patient. Elon Musk. Anyone has ever heard of Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos? I wish you could unmute. You may have subscribed on Twitter or X, but are you going to do, if you're following Elon Musk, are you going to do what Elon Musk tells you to do? And that, if Elon Musk tells you what to do you have to do it? You can replace Elon Musk with any public figure that you like. Does Elon Musk tell you what to do, and do you have to do it? And if yes, you do have to do what Elon Musk tells you to do if you work in one of his companies, such as Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, AI, and any other business. If you don't do as he tells you to do, if you work for the company, he will fire you. The word fire comes from a dictionary, set you aflame or shoot you with a gun. Look it up. And if you're not a follower, so what happens in companies, you're not a follower, you're an employee. And it's a big difference between being a follower within the leadership field and being an employee. Following in the companies is not a choice and is the wrong word altogether. Similarly, when students are completing assignments or homework for the professors, you're not a follower, you're simply a student. Do you follow some of today's worst leaders? If you happen to live one of those places on earth. If you don't, they will fire you, such as they can set you aflame if you talk about the terrorist organizations or execute you with a gun, literally. If you're not a follower, simply you're an obedient subject. And there are a number of countries where people, unfortunately, live in this way. In real life situation, can you follow anybody? In most situations, you wouldn't. Go on the street and try to follow somebody. If you're in the United States, you would be arrested. Do you want to be followed? Probably not. So what you find is that followership by itself does not exist. It's simply a unicorn. And unicorn is a mystical feature, mystical animal that sort of lives in movie theaters and in PowerPoint. But when you go in the real life, when you go to the zoo, you will never see an animal like that. And so followership is not a real concept altogether that we've been spending about the past 50 years discussing. And if followership does not exist, what about leadership? And I'm going to leave it for the next talk, but to rethink the concept of leadership. And whether leadership by itself is an existing concept or if it's another made-up concept that does not exist. And the world today is, when we spend our time and invest our energies into sort of trivial discussions that have no bearing to reality, the world is coming close to the end of this organized human life. We're about 60 seconds to midnight. And instead of solving complex issues society is facing today, as scholars, most of us have engaged for over 50 years in useless discussions, watching the world sleeping into a very dangerous place. And so perhaps, and my hope is, perhaps it's time to start discussing openly the real issues of the humanity and our only and single planetary civilization faces, throwing away all ill-conceived concepts and ideas with vague or little meaning. And hopefully this is exactly what this conference is for. And I wanted to thank you, and I wanted to accentuate that if you look at the world today, we no longer live in Indonesia, in the United States. There is one planet in which we're somehow trying to survive, and hopefully that the next century is going to be a little bit better than the past 2 years. Thank you all very much, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sergey. We are, about to take the questions at the end of the, all the presentations from the keynote speakers. Thanks for the great insights talking about leadership, followers, and the world where we are, leading to. So great insights. Once again, thank you for your, kind presentation. We will reach you back for the Q&A session.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
You can make it on, slide mode. Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the topic that I'm going to discuss right now is creating an equitable workplace for a sustainable future. As I am from HRM, so I would like to connect those bits and pieces in HRM practices. So there will be a little bit understanding of what an inclusive economy, because our theme of the conference is more into inclusive economy and its importance and the challenges that we might have in creating an inclusive economy. So first of all, I have already introduced myself, and I really appreciate the efforts of the conference organizers for creating such a platform to introduce different concepts and to collaborate with different people. So the topic we are going to discuss is inclusive economy. Maybe somebody of you have already heard about it, but it's more like creating a place or a system, economic system, in which age, gender, race, ethnicity, and different personal backgrounds doesn't matter. The matter things are you have to give the equal opportunities to everyone at every role, and whether he is from a different background, from different area, from different educational perspective, but you have to create the opportunities so that he can be in the inclusive economic system. So if we dare to dream it together, we will have to provide opportunities to build and maintain such a place that can build together the inclusive economy. So the factors that have to be in inclusive economy are the income, net assets, and qualitative also, like the job quality, worker voice, their participation, and sense of belongingness in the entire organization. So in order to be in the inclusive system, you have to give not only the quantitative rights, but also the qualitative. They have to be in the system. They have to be in the decision making and participation. So our goal must be to prove the metrics one by one, and in order to set our goals, there are different there are different themes that we have to consider, we have to provide equal opportunities for the city's residents, more equitable distribution of income, job, and wealth, including the underserved and vulnerable population. But the thing is that there are so many challenges in achieving such objectives. These are just what we call the concepts that we are still unable to get. There are different factors that have to be there that we have to consider before entering into an inclusive economy. So back to my topic, if we relate the inclusive economy in HR practices, we will say that there must be promoting diversity and equity in organizations, contributing more to a larger society, so that we can have a diverse society in which the participation is equal for everyone. So HR plays a pivotal role in shaping organization culture and practices to embrace inclusivity. So there are different practices that we can introduce in our organizations to get something like inclusive economy, but there is no ideal situation for this. So the first one, we have to conduct regular training sessions to educate our employees about diversity and unconsciousness, biasness, and cultural awareness. We have to accept that there are different people with different mindsets and they come with different expertise. So everyone have to be there in decision-making process and in have to be in the organization. So for achieving such a objective, we have to prepare our employees to accept the diversity, to accept different cultures. So for this, we have to arrange different training sessions. Then we have to provide the equal opportunity employment, ensure that hiring, promotions, and other employment decisions are based on qualifications, skills, and abilities rather than gender, ethnicity, age, or any other discriminatory factors. So when we are going for the recruitment and selection, we have to be very clear about that we are giving equal opportunity to everyone. Then we have some diverse recruitment strategies, like we have to create an attractive, diverse pool of candidates, job openings, partnering with diverse recruitment agencies, and advertising such things on different platforms, so that everyone who can get the job fairs can represent their communities. They can have their voice. We have something that we have to develop and mentor our leaders who champion diversity and inclusion. This is not only for the organizations, but also as a part of a society, that we have to develop our mentors so that they can accept and include the diversity of the nation. We have to make certain different flexible arrangements also from if we have some people who are eligible and who are right people for the right job, they can work from remote options, and we have to accommodate them according to their needs and circumstances, so that we can have them on our organization, in our organization, and in our decision making, without giving them, if we are not facilitating them, we will lack the pool of different peoples. So we have to provide flexible work arrangements for them. Then we have accountability environment. It should be, and there should be some set goals and diversity in initiative and track progress, accountable for achieving those goals. Regularly review metrics related to promotions and different satisfaction criteria of the employees. So if we are not taking the measurements, or we are not evaluating what we are going to train them, then it will be not fruitful for us. So there must be some measurements and evaluation at the end of trainings, or at the end of different sessions that we provide to our employees. Then there are some ERGs. Maybe somebody of you have heard about it. There are different groups that represent some similar backgrounds. So there are different groups that have a sense of community, foster inclusivity, and insights in the organization. So we have to bring up those groups. For example, I will share some of the case studies that have already introduced some of the groups, and they are very competent in providing different people for the right place, for the right job. So maybe we have to introduce some ERGs. Then there are some transparent policies and procedures. We have to be very clear about our HR policies, and we have to expect that they are these procedures and every practice is equal for everyone. There are no different laws for different people, but there are some equal laws and rules and regulations, and the ethics to be followed must be equal for everyone. So transparency fosters trust and helps in creating inclusivity and fair work. Then we have to provide inclusive benefits and perks. We have to offer a range. We have to offer a range of benefits and perks that cater and diverse needs of our employees, including healthcare options, family support, mental health programs. So that if we can have those benefits, then we will be able to get more diverse and inclusive organizations. After that, I will like to share some of the case studies. Some of case studies are relevant to international organizations, and some are related to some of the Pakistani organizations that have introduced the inclusivity in their organization. So first of all, we have Google. Of course, every one of us know that they are very inclusive and diverse in their policy making and everything. So they have a strategy that Google is known for its commitment to diversity and inclusivity on building a diverse workforce, fostering an inclusive environment. So they have implemented ERGs, the strategy that I have already told before. The ERGs are the groups. For example, they have a Black Googler network. They have 12 branches worldwide, in which if you want to hire the Black people, so underdeserved people, so you can have such kind of platform. Then there is a group known as Women at Google to support the underrepresented groups. So you can invite them, you can hire them from those groups, and you can make the inclusivity in your organization. They also conduct unconscious bias training for their employees and integrate diverse inclusion into their hiring processes. And the outcome, obvious, that they have increased diversity in their workforce and leadership positions, and a company have already improved the culture and employee satisfaction rate. Then we have another example of Unilever. Everybody may have heard about. They have different kind of products related to cosmetics and daily use products. So Unilever is also committed in fostering diversity and the belongingness of their workforce and inclusivity in their workforce. So they have implemented and launched a Unilever Global Diversity Board in drive so that they can have inclusive initiatives. They have set targets for gender balance and inclusivity at all levels. So they are not discriminating any gender or anyone. So the outcome is obvious, that they have increased gender balance in their leadership roles, and also a more inclusive culture with a focus on sustainability and the impact. Then we have another example of Microsoft, that they are dedicated in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce by embracing different perspectives and backgrounds. And they have implementation. In their implementation, they have launched an inclusive design initiative to ensure their accessibility and usable by everyone. So conducts training and unconscious bias on inclusivity of their employees. The outcome of their inclusive strategies are increased product accessibility and usability for a broader base, and more inclusive culture and diverse workforce. And there are some different case studies related to Pakistan, as I belong from Pakistan. So I would like to share some of the corporations and organizations that are more into inclusive strategies. So the first one is Angro Corporation, which is a leading multinational conglomerate, has been different initiatives and inclusion. They emphasize creating an inclusive workforce environment and promoting gender diversity. Then we have UBL, which is United Bank Limited. One of the largest banks in Pakistan has taken steps to promote inclusivity in implementing a pool of gender equality and provide equal opportunities to the employees from diverse backgrounds. They are more known for their equal rights for their women participation. So there are more ladies in decision making and on higher authorities, like on the leadership roles. Then we have Telenor Pakistan, which is a telecommunication services provider, and they have been recognized for their efforts in promoting inclusivity, gender bias, balance, and diversity in the workforce. And they also focus on creating inclusive workforce for all the employees. Then we have Nestle Pakistan, A leading multinational food and beverage company emphasizes creating an inclusivity of culture. They prioritize equality and inclusivity in their hiring and talent development practices. So there are different challenges in providing inclusivity or in incorporating inclusivity. The first one may be the communication barriers. You have to hire different people and they are from different backgrounds. They used to talk in different languages. Even in Pakistan, we used to talk 172 languages. So while hiring different people, maybe you have some communication barriers, but you have to deal with it by introducing a language that is known to everyone. Like in Pakistan, we have two languages, every one of us have in a state language of Urdu, and then we have another language like international language, English. So for inclusivity, you have to hire people who have the both skills, so that you can you don't have to get into the communication barriers. Then handling different perspectives. Yeah, you have to be very acceptable and flexible in tackling and dealing with different perspective of the individuals. But you have to be very clear that what your company's goals are and what your objectives, and then you have to make decisions according to your company's goals and objectives, but keeping in view the different perspectives of your employees. Then aligning diversity with your organization's goals. As I already told that if you want to be inclusive in your organization, then you have to make decisions according to your organization goals. Then you have to conduct trainings so that you can hire different people and they are more into your organization in comfortable manner and flexibility. And then you have to overcome biasness, that you have to be very clear about your decision making and you don't have to be biased in different perspectives. So there are different things that you have to consider in order to be inclusive in your organization, and you can introduce HR practices and strategies to implement those things in your organization to create an inclusive environment. That's all from me. Thank you very much. And everyone is welcome on board for the question and answer session.
Thank you very much, Munazza, for this thought-provoking presentation, in which you have highlighted what are the challenges of inclusivity and what are the opportunities by mentioning the roles of HR, training, generating unemployment, and some case studies from Pakistan. So we will be, catching you again for Q&A session at the end of the all keynote presentations. So ladies and gentlemen, let us, welcome our third keynote speaker, Dr. Prasoon Tripathi, who is currently as a director of IMS Ghaziabad. He is an illustrious alumni of Waterton Business School. Dr. Tripathi is not just an academician, but a researcher par excellence at IMS Ghaziabad, India. Dr. Tripathi's leadership has been nothing short of transformative. He has been the driving force behind molding professionals who are not only ready for today, but for unpredictable tomorrows. Dr. Tripathi boasts a rich tapestry of industry experience, having helmed pivotal roles such as the Group of Head of Human Resources. Dr. Prasoon Tripathi epitomises the convergence of academic brilliance and industry prowess. His journey in management education is not just about milestones achieved, but about the myriad lives he has impacted along the way. We welcome you, Dr. Prasoon Tripathi, sir.
Thank you very
Please
much.
go ahead. Time is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. I think it's still morning there in Indonesia and other parts. So good morning to all of you. Believe me, I did not write about all those accolades. I did not write. Somebody else wrote it. So okay. So Professor Meshach Lake, the Dean of Faculty in Economics of Business, Kenyan University, Indonesia. Dr. Srina, the Vice President of aibpm. Dr. Sergey, Dr. Munazza, Dr. Lim Guy, and fellow researchers, industry professionals, students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be here at 2023 UNCEN International Conference of Economics and Business. to speak about leveraging research and technology and its technological innovations in India to drive inclusive economic growth and sustainability. As a representative of my institution, IMS Ghaziabad, I'm excited to share with you some insights of how India is using research and technological innovation to drive economic growth and sustainability. To start our journey, I invoke the words of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, an eminent scientist and the former president of India, once eloquently stated that dreams transform into thoughts and thoughts result into action. That's what we believe. In a nation as diverse and as dynamic as India, these profound words guide our aspirations. As we explore in their distinctive contribution to research and technology, let's be inspired by Dr. Kalam's vision, emphasizing the power of dreams and the potential to shape our country and reality. The interdependence of research and technology, that's what we need to, it's very, very important. Research provides a foundation for technological advances, and technology often guides new areas and methodologies of research. And whenever we talk about research, technology, we talk about quality and innovation. We must understand that quality talks about conformity, and innovation talks about breaking rules. But they do coexist. Today's quality is tomorrow's innovation. So we cannot say that quality does not get conflict with innovation. In the ever-evolving landscape of innovation and discovery, the two pillars of research and technology stand firm, supporting and amplifying each other. The relationship is not just symbiotic, but it forms the core DNA of our modern civilization. It is research that lays the groundwork, providing the insight, data, understanding upon technology. Yet, the relationship is not one-sided. As we leap into technological frontiers, these are the advancements which open doors to fresh avenues of research. So how do we talk about role of research in tech innovations? So one is that validating feasibility and effectiveness of new technologies. Second, identifying gaps and areas of technological improvements. As we keep trying to make better technology, research helps to show us the way. Research checks if our new ideas actually work and if they are practical. Because whatever we do, pragmatism is also very, very important. And it's adding value to the humanity. It also helps us see where we can do better. And thanks to research, we are not just moving forward, we are making sure our steps truly matter. In short, research makes sure our efforts in technology really count and make positive difference. And they also have economic implications. So research-backed technologies have higher chances of success. They drive economic growth by addressing real-world challenges and the needs, human needs. When you talk about our economy here in India, research is a game changer. Technologies built on solid research are more likely to succeed. Why? Because they solve real problems that people face every day. By fixing these issues, these technologies help our economies grow stronger. In simple words, good research is like a roadmap. It shows technologies where to go, making sure truly what makes difference in our lives and what boosts our economy. I would like to talk about a bit about our India's situation and position. It's a rapidly growing technological hub with a rich history of academic and applied research. And we have potential to set global benchmark in research-driven technological solutions. When we talk about technology and research, India holds a special place. It's quickly becoming a big center of technology while having a deep history of learning and practical research. This is a mix of old and new, which gives India a chance to lead the world. We have the opportunity to show everyone how research can shape powerful tech solutions. A couple of lines about Indian context in research and technology. We had always been on the forefront of discovery. Our historical legacy is testament to this. The invention of the concept of zero, our efforts pioneering work in astronomy, our profound philosophical and literary research have paved the way for generations of thinkers. Fast forward to modern times, our achievements are no less astounding. Globally recognized, our feats in the space by ISRO, groundbreaking IT research have placed India in the world map as technological powerhouse. Our institutions like IIT and ISCs have become synonymous with excellence, and they draw parallel to MITs of the world and draw attention and collaboration from the world's best research hubs. But India's growth story isn't about past glories and academic accolades, also about adapting to the future. The digital revolution we are witnessing is transformative. Our advances in digital infrastructure are commendable. And surge in digital payments, the whole world has witnessed, and e-commerce is reshaping our economies and contributing a lot to various countries across the globe. Most importantly, our innovations are not just elite. Research and technology in India have always been geared towards inclusivity. It can't afford to be very elite, that we write and we read. Researchers, academic researchers, they write, and only academic researchers read and does not go to the classroom or to the industry or to the society. Initiatives like Aadhaar and UPI aren't just technological marvels. They are tools of financial inclusion and empowerment. 1.4 billion people, anyone who has got, and they're close to more than 1.2 billion people in the country in India own mobile phones, probably few own more than 2. They all make payments through mobile and very secure. Hardly seen any fraud in such a large country with such a transaction, which are millions in every day. So these financial inclusions and empowerment, and they have empowered even people who are lowest to the rung. I mean, they don't need to carry any cash or any card or whatever, and they can make payments in the smallest denominators of our rupee, the 100 rupees and 1,000 rupees. So these are ensuring every Indian, regardless of their socio-economic background, that they have access to the nation's growth story. In a sense, India's journey from historical innovation to modern breakthroughs reflect a nation constantly evolving, yet deeply rooted in its legacy of discovery and inclusivity. In today's digital age, India is making a remarkable stride with digital finance inclusion. Exemplifying UPI has revolutionized the way we transact. A drive towards inclusivity does not stop at finance. E-governance initiatives are potential in erasing the discrepancies between urban and rural India. By digitizing essential services, we are ensuring that every Indian, irrespective of their location, has access to the same quality of governance, building a divide and bridging a divide that has persisted for very long and too long. Agriculture, which is the backbone of our nation, because we have to feed 1.4 billion people. They're also undergoing a tremendous transformation. Innovations like AI-driven crop predictions are not only boosting India's yields, but ensuring food security. By predicting weather pattern and crop cycles, farmers can make informed decisions. Lastly, the world grapples with the effects of climate change, and India has championed the green tech. Our commitment to renewable energy is unwavering, with massive solar and wind energy projects dotting the landscape. Moreover, sustainable transportation, the initiatives which we are taking are gaining momentum, reducing the carbon footprint and paving the way for a greener, cleaner India. In conclusion, from our fields to our cities and from transactions to our governance, India is a tech-driven approach and promises a future that's inclusive, sustainable, and empowered. Now, a few lines on why, couple of things on why quality matters in research. Because research in its truest essence, it didn't mean merely about discovery. Because we're not searching, we are researching. It's something which has been most of the time already been done, most of the time. It's about understanding, validation, and impact. And that's very, very important aspect, validation and impact. The quality of this research, therefore, becomes paramount. But why does it matter so much? Why does it matter so much? Because from an economic perspective, research is the backbone of the robust policy making. We need that. And that needs to be very truthful, a quality, and transparent, innovative strategies, and evolution of businesses. High quality research provides insight that drives economic decisions, shaping policy that govern nations, guiding innovations that disrupt markets, and influencing strategies that make businesses thrive. In a world that is becoming increasingly data-driven, it's not just about having information, but about having accurate and reliable information. The influx and the availability of the data is a boon, but at the same time, it's also very, very misleading. On the societal front, research plays a pivotal role in molding perceptions. You understand the way the world is shaping perceptions and the way the rise of hatred and again prevalence of peace. So these are research is very, very important. They mold our perceptions, behaviors, and norms. It influences public opinion, determines societal standards, and even affects our day-to-day behaviors. Lastly, in the academic realm, so coming back to where what we belong to, the academia, the stakes are just as high. Institutions like ours and yours, they become beacons of knowledge. The quality of research affords not only the academic integrity of these institutions, but also their perceptions and probably the reputation on the global scale. It sets the benchmark of our future scholars, paves the way for groundbreaking discoveries, and upholds the very ethos of academia. In conclusion, the quality in research isn't just requirement, it's a responsibility towards the economy, society, academic world. They all rely on the truth which we uncover and which we share. And we must be afraid and beware of the lure of predatory journals. And I'm purely talking about academic research and all that. In the vast expanse of our academic publishing, there lurks a challenge that threatens the very integrity of the academic research, which are predatory journals. These are publications that prioritize profits over scholarly quality, often offering swift publication most of the time, but at the cost of rigorous scrutiny. So what makes journal predatory? They are often misleading titles, mimicking reputable journals, their peer review processes. If it exists at all, it is mere formality, lacking the depth and rigor that true academic discourse demands. They might list experts as board members without their consent, and their main attraction is usually false publication. The dangers of these predatory journals are profound. First, they propagate misleading findings without rigorous peer review, the quality of publishing work, and elude quick publication, which ultimately, I have not seen, people who publish, they know what are journals which are good, which are predatory. So we pretend that we are publishing in a very good quality journal, A category and whatever and whatnot. But everybody who knows the title, they know that no, we are doing a fraud. So it spoils the reputation of the researcher and the institution, both. And also, there's short gain, being named as a good researcher. But within a year or 2 or 3, when you start piling up those journals in your name, you lose every chance of publishing in good papers. You become corrupt, and you also spoil your reputation as a researcher. You negatively impact the academia, the students, and everybody. So I had a very strong stand in our college, a personal stand, and I am very thankful to all my professors who stand by me and in ensuring that we do not take part in any predatory journal. In conclusion, as researchers and academicians, it is imperative to be vigilant, to uphold the sanctity of our work, and to tread the path. So what I say that do write one paper in 2 years, 3 years, rather than writing 3 papers in a year. Make impact and be happy and feel proud about the work which you have done. That gives you inner satisfaction rather than getting published in a predatory journal. So in the end, I conclude, I would like to extend an invitation to each one of you on behalf of IMS Ghaziabad, which is New Delhi. We are open to collaborative research, exchange programs, joint activities. Let's come together, combine our expertise, pave new pathways for innovations and learning. And once again, thank you, all of you, for your time, and I eagerly look forward to the possibility of our future collaborations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Prasoon Tripathi from IMS Ghaziabad, India, for your thought-provoking teachings about how India is leveraging technology and achieving the milestone in financial inclusion. And lastly, about what authentic research means and how standard research should be, especially from the repute Institute of India. So therefore, we are now open for Q&A session. I would like to ask all the participants, whosoever is having question, please raise your hand. We will give you opportunity to unmute yourself and ask the speaker directly the question. Participants, if you are having any question, please raise your hand. You can ask your question directly by introducing yourself. Meanwhile, we will receive the questions. I will try to conclude the first speaker. Unfortunately, first 2 speakers, they have left us because of their busy schedule. So till we receive the questions, I want to conclude what they talk about. So our first speaker today, he put some light about what should be the language of a leader in this global era where we are, facing so many challenges. Wars are going, operations are going, injustice are going, discriminations are going between the nations. And what should be the language of a great leader? He focused on this and he has stressed on this. The second very important discussion he has led about whom to follow and whom not to follow. He has quoted the examples of a teacher. Should a student follow a teacher? Should an employee follow a employee? Should a COE should be followed by his employees? Should a banker followed by his subordinates? So he was trying to understand us that on what basis one should follow whom. Then he has beautifully quoted Elon Musk, whether we have to follow him or not. So therefore, it is the time to think rigorously what we are doing in this world. So our second speaker, Dr. Munazza, she talked about the inclusion, inclusiveness, challenges and opportunities, how we should, lead forward. So there were so many questions from my end, but unfortunately they left us. So now let us, directly talk to Professor Prasoon Tripathi. He has led, some great examples of India. So we are having any question in chat box before I will, ask my question. Is there anybody having any question? So I think there is no question. I will take this opportunity to ask some, questions to Professor. As we are talking about, technology has helped us. It is helping, and there is a trickle down effect. It is not helping only India. India, one of the leading examples, helping to the developing countries, especially in digital technology. But on the other hand, India is the one of the largest populated country now, part of the China. We are having so many population who are living under the marginal sections, who are excluded from the financial inclusion. Do you think that technology one side boosts the economy to achieve growth and development, but on the other side it makes a challenge for these marginalized sections to make inline themselves to get the fruits of this milestone?
For those, the concept of nuclear bomb was not to destroy any country; it was to produce energy. So that's the flip side of technology. When there are so many people, the world, they have to be serviced. There is no other way to use technology. There is no other way. But human mind, wow, is very, very, at times, very, very nasty. So we are as good as we are bad. So probably technology does have its negative impact. So we did nuclear innovations, and then it came out to be a bomb. We did something in technology to ensure that things are delivered for better value chain improvisation and supply chain and all that. Drones, but they're affecting they are being used as weapons. So those will remain. But the idea is that there is no other way than the technology, and that's the reason we need to improve research. We need to talk about what is that we are doing, and we, as an academician, we can take and stand. I mean, so we are the best placed people on this planet. We can afford to criticize positively anyone for good reason, and we can always have a shelter of being called academician. So I don't need to take a side of Trump or probably Jinping or to Modi or anybody. I mean, whatever we want to say, we can say. We can do a research. We can talk about it, and that's why I said that not only technological innovation in terms of ensuring that we have something. These resources and technology support us to bring out what is important for our nation building in terms of it shapes our day-to-day life. It shapes the way we look at. So the way I look at Dr. Firdous, and because of technology. Had I not had any technology, I could have any other perception. So there is no way out. We can't get away from technology. But our responsibility remains where, as an academician, that we bring out more about the truth. We do a good work, and definitely these have flip sides of technology. But there is no second way of technology. I mean, even if you have to go back to the way we used to live in the Stone Age, now only technology will take us to those days. There's a danger because we're exploiting this planet, and there is no. So as Obama says, there's no plan B, because we don't have any other planet where we can house more than 8 billion people. Where do we go? The way we are exploiting this country, the planet, in 1,000 years, this will be inhabitable and there will be nobody. The human race will die. Because we look at that, there is no water. Look at the way difficult to breathe. But even to remove the bad impacts of technology, we have to work on technology. There's no other way.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this, great explanation. So if there is any question, I would like to take the question from audience. Please unmute yourself if you have any question before we wind up the session. So I think there is no question. So let me wind up this, session with some, guidelines. I am very thankful for all the keynote speakers for their information and interesting talks, especially the talk of Professor Prasoon, the case study of India and how we should, go with the technology. There is, no other way to, leave behind. So all the participants, now there will be the, separate announcement for you. Before I end this session for this beautiful conference, I want to share one quotation with all of you, especially researchers and students. That is, we should think big, we should dream big, and we should achieve big. So at the conclusion, to conclude this discussion with our keynote speakers with their astonishing presentations. Thank you once again to all keynote speakers for those insights with us. Hopefully your knowledge can be an inspiration for all of us here. Now we should return to our MC Grets Walilo to explain the next session. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Firdous Ahmad Malik. Actually, there was a question on here. There's one question, but if the session is already done, I may not be able to help to answer that. So the moderator, if there is enough time later on, there's one question at the question and answer section right here. So it may be helpful if it can be answered later on. Okay.
So yeah, thank you. Sorry for this inconvenience. I have asked repeatedly about the question, but okay, late question came. It is about what do you perspective of inclusive economy in Indonesia and how can inclusive growth of a country be achieved? The keynote speaker for this presentation was Professor Munazza. She has left, but I will take the opportunity if Professor Prasoon Tripathi can share some light on this, that they are asking about the perspective of inclusive economy in Indonesia and how can inclusive growth of a country be achieved. If we can generalize some.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take a very simple answer. How do we ensure that there is inclusivity? Inclusivity, in the simplest terms, means including everyone who are the stakeholders, those who want to be part of it. And how do we reach to them? So research and technology is the only way. And I think Indonesia can do very well. Indonesia is doing, I have seen that the way it's doing. the way we have empowered the poorest in terms of monetarily, not but poorest of the people in the country. The students who are from the remote area in the villages studying on mobile, and couple of students studying there. So the only way, and I think Indonesia will not only do that. I am very positive about the perspective of Indonesia bringing the inclusivity in this. Let me read the question. So inclusivity in the entire economy, because how do you ensure? You ensure that there is a social inclusivity. You have to ensure that there is an economical inclusivity. You have to ensure that there is a the very typical word I'm trying to find out, the dignity of labor. So I wanted to say this: the dignity of labor is very, very important to ensure that we respect, and that is one of the biggest labelers. And all that can happen when use technology and research and tell people. And I'm very, very positive about Indonesia being a very inclusive economy, and in terms of social inclusivity, in terms of economical inclusivity, in terms of educational inclusivity, and that all can be done with the use of technology. And be assured that you are a very right path.
Thank you very much. I want to also add my viewpoints on it, as I am also the researcher of microfinance in the last 10 years. So my key insight that how an economy can, achieve the vision of inclusion. It is similarly that we have to make a transition from traditional, setup of economy towards a modern, as Professor Tripathi was, focusing on that. We have to in line with technology. We have to leverage the technology. So technology in what? Technology in banking, technology in education, technology in industry. We have to generate jobs. We have to, make people aware about financial awareness, financial inclusion, and financial literacy. And we have to introduce the programs which are in line to support the financial inclusion. And we have to believe, as India, one of the examples of, a country of startups dealing with innovations, a hub of innovations. So similarly, on the same track, Indonesia can be a good example to adopt these things, and the milestone will be achieved as soon as possible. So is there any more question before we will, conclude the session?
Yes, moderator, please, there's another question from Agustina Sanggarbano on the chat. There's a chat at the chat. One
Yes,
more
yes.
question.
In chat, it is, just thank you for the answer. Really appreciate. So is there any more question I am missing?
Yes, I'll be reading the question for you. The
Okay.
question is from Agustina Sanggarbano. The question is, the inclusive economy currently being promoted in Indonesia has very good aim of improving economic performance by expanding economic opportunities and prosperity, as well as providing broad access to all levels of society. Then here's the question. What kind of development approach should be taken by the Papua Provincial, Regency, City, and the regional government to so that the indigenous people of the Papua can and are able to directly involve as the development subject in Papua?
Thanks. I think we have already, answered this question, but I will take, some, precise viewpoints from perhaps, Prasoon. Then I will also add some more points. Perhaps Prasoon, they are asking that what steps government should, take to, make sure that financial inclusion will be achieved in Indonesia.
Dr. Firdous, I mean, there is no, I have not studied the specific area, but I can only talk about the experience which we have in this country, the vast country where there are places where it still used to be you have to walk for 2 days to reach your village. From that perspective till today, even today there are villages, but they have electric. Every village in the country has electricity. Every village now being connected to the road, and still they have, but they have still connectivity problem because they're in the hills and the remote areas. They take 2 days, they walk for a day or two to reach those places, their village, but still they have internet facility available there in India. And that's the and they have got an inclusion because they know about country, the people, the progress which we are making, the payments which they have to make. They have to make any payment from their villages. They used to walk 2 days to go to a post office or bank where to go and make a payment. Today, 1.4 billion people, hardly anybody goes to the bank. Everything is being done through mobile. Not even the laptop or screens. So the first thing which we need to do, so that's the practical experience which I have, connect that place. So physical connection will take a lot of time because and that regular travel to those places will take a lot of time. But technological connections will not take that much of time and less capital intensive. So you can connect those areas very, very rigorously through technology, through internet and all that. And that will be the first stage of bringing inclusivity, because they would know what's happening. They can demand. People should be aware to raise demand. If I do not know what's happening where, how do I raise a demand? And so make them aware, connect them with the real world, the actual world, and they would know and they will demand. That's what I'm saying. So that's all, but it's specifically as per the area I have not studied, so for the area I will not be able to comment.
Yeah, I wanted to, you to get involved in it. So let me, give you some insights about, what are my perspectives that what government should do. There is an example in India. We have, a bunch of financial schemes which has been announced after 2014 onwards. There was a slogan from Prime Minister of, India, "Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas." It means that we have to take care of everybody and we have to give everybody opportunity. Especially when we are talking about financial inclusion. Financial inclusion definition itself is, explaining that we should provide equal opportunity as per the capacity and capability of the people, so that to ensure them they should not be discriminated on the basis of color, creed, and sex, to mainstream them towards banking. Now COVID-19 has, it has transformed the world. The traditional businesses have gone. There is transaction towards business, e-commerce. Similarly, people have to, move themselves from traditional banking towards e-banking. As Professor, Tripathi was highlighting, he was trying to, explain us that the traditional banking, going to the bank is, withdrawing money from the ATM. It is now, the process is now slow. People are shifting towards, e-wallets. In India, we are having, the economy is boosted because of financial inclusion. We are having these, digital transactions, money digital, platforms where people can easily do their, marketing, from online shopping and so on. So I can recommend that they should follow up the case study of India. After 2014, India has announced a bunch of financial inclusion schemes. One is free of cost bank account, named in India as Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Then there was one more government program, Mudra. Under the Mudra, government has announced some packages for entrepreneur, small businesses, to give them loan without any mortgage. Then there was, counter, programs to provide them insurance, to provide them health, and to provide them pension. So I think, these programs are there. Government of Indonesia can copy them. They can do same type of program, and they can. The
Dr.
first and
Firdous,
foremost. Yeah.
For those, I didn't want to make those recommendations because I can't afford to make those recommendations as a scholar. But you are right. I mean, we forced open everyone's accounts, and people were laughing that they don't have money. Why open an account? But we opened it. Prime Minister was very, very hell-bent on it. Then open an account, and then insurance, then medical insurance. I mean, now they have got medical insurance, they have got hospitals, and then those things become simpler. But I can't recommend you to enter country and the government. But I can.
No, I am not just recommending. I am asking them that there are case studies and they are success. There are almost now 10 years after 2014 onwards. The duration is 1 decade. During 1 decade, there are up and downs. Recently we have faced the global inflation, which has closed the big banks in the USA. There was COVID-19, which has devastated the economies. But still, the programs which has been initiated, implemented 10 years before, they have now achieved the milestone. India is known because of this financial inclusion, and there is a heavy trickle down effect, especially this Middle East, towards Middle East, Sri Lanka, and India is nowadays doing digital trade in terms of Indian rupees. So I am asking them, these are the examples which are there, programs are there, so they can try to inline these type of programs as per their as per the needs of their economy. So if we are having any more question, we would love to answer that. If not, then we are about to finalize the session. Can anybody will make me sure that there is no question missing now?
No, there is none.
So thank you very much once again, all the speakers, for giving us these thought-provoking insights about different areas, how we can be resilient about businesses in this modern era. So now we are going to conclude the discussion. Once again, I am very thankful for the all keynote speakers with their astonishing presentations. I thank you, keynote speakers, for sharing these insights with us today. Hopefully, this knowledge of inspiration, inspires us, all of us here. Now we shall return to our MC, moderator, Grets Walilo, to explain the next session. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Firdous Ahmad Malik. Those were our 4 keynote speakers with very insightful presentations. Right after this, we will move to the parallel or the presentation session. Before we move to the presentation session, please make sure to rename your display name according to your role. All presenters can go to the certain Zoom room based on the presentation schedule. You can join the room by clicking the join button, and you will be automatically joining your presentation room. After the presentation is finished, all presenters can come back to the main Zoom room for the closing remarks. After this, all the committee will send you the link for the exit, especially some room for the